the vegetation
determination
memorandum, whatever it is. We've got our response put together. Crystal and I got that done, but we don't have the official letter from them saying they're denying it. All we have is an unofficial copy, so we have to wait on getting that one in. If I send in an appeal now, they're going to go, I don't know why you're appealing this. We don't have anything for you to, so I've also made Senator Hawley, his office, aware of what's going on, and he's tracking it from their end also. Try to give us any help that they can.
Very good. What else was I going to ask about? Oh, how's the outdoor basketball court coming?
Quite well. We're at the point now we're just waiting on the electrician to show up to put the lights on and run the electric. Jimmy will be out there cutting the expansion joints in it probably this week if weather. And Kenny can go out and get the stripes painted, get it sealed, and the last thing we will do is put up the goals. Keep the kids off of it as long as possible. So.
Very good.
Jimmy has done, and the guys are very proud of that, and rightly so. They've done a great job on it. Big project for them. They've never really tackled anything like that before.
Yeah, sounds good. LaDonna.
I know Mark brought this up last time, and he's not here tonight, so I'm going to bring it up on his behalf. I know he had talked about the other night about the hours of operation, and we had looked up what the city park was, and similar to that, even though, like you say, it is a facility and not a city park. I would just hope that we can kind of keep in communication with some of the neighbors in the area. I know we're going to have it where the lights maybe don't shine in on them, but can we kind of keep track if we start having some noise issues? And because I would hate to, I'd hate to bring something in that you have kids out there yelling and maybe cursing and screaming at 10:30 at night.
I think what Mike found at the last meeting was the parks are open until 11. It's a seasonal thing, and
yeah,
but
this really isn't a park.
This is
part
of the complex.
It's part of this building, and so this building closes at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think where there are houses that close in proximity, they're not right in your backyard, but especially like you say, as it starts to cool off and you open windows and stuff, I would hate to.
I think that's an administrative decision. You can set the hours.
I know that was Mark had
with the
concerns about that. So.
With the help of Mark, since he's on Parks and Recreation, get that committee to help you out with what they decide on that.
So,
very good. Anything else for the city administrator? Very good. We'll move on to department reports. We have a public works report in here. If anybody's been along Fairway Drive, good thing we didn't do that sewer line. They've taken 4 dump truck loads out of boulder rocks that are this big around. It's unbelievable. I know Bob has a little problem down there with them not going another 3 foot to get into one drain we missed, but I've been assured by you and Jimmy that it will be taken care of.
I've been assured by the engineer that it'll be taken care of.
Okay.
So keep an eye on it.
All right.
And I'm happy. I've been fighting it for years.
I think we're all happy. Do not have a building inspector report. PD, I think the committee heard it. Chief?
We're seeing our second case in 2 weeks of, we don't have the toxicology report back, but our second heroin overdose death in the city in the last couple of weeks in different spectrums of the city. So wasn't sure about, we're waiting on toxicology report, but that looks to be the case. We've dried up the legitimate hydrocodone and those prescription pills fairly well. What we're seeing is now input from Mexico of counterfeit pills. We had an overdose death out on Luke Drive. They attribute to hydrocodone pills that are actually made in Mexico. They're not real good with hydrocodone. They put fentanyl in them.
Fentanyl.
And if you're dealing with a real addict, they'll take 50 of those pills a day. You're taking 6, 8, 10 of them at a time, and the fentanyl is killing those. But also drying up the pill problem has introduced heroin into the area. So we're going to see some of that. You don't know the strength of it, and when you're actually dealing in doses of heroin, you're really dealing in micrograms, very, very small quantity, and it's possible to overdose on it. So we saw the second one. We believe that's what happened just in the last day or two. So we're working on that. Not much we can do. The drug task force involved in it. And
Is there a deal you like if somebody's overdosed, you shoot them with something or
Narcan.
what's that?
yeah, what is it called?
Narcan.
Narcan.
I'm
You guys
sorry.
carry Narcan?
Narcan.
If we're there,
You have Narcan.
yeah, I mean, if they're there and they're overdosing, we have Narcan.
Okay.
Narcan.
Okay. Good.
But the problem we're having is we're not getting them during the dosage. We're getting them after the effect. We
Yeah.
can't bring them back.
Yeah.
It will work if they're in overdose situations, but it won't work all the time. The other thing is our radio system is working wonderful. I can talk and listen to my portable from my house, which is probably 4.5 to 5 miles the crow flies. We've had no complaints. We replaced that repeater. They did some reprogramming on it. It's actually stronger than what the license found out. But I found out in dealing with 3 different radio businesses and a supposed expert in the radio business who was on staff, our FCC license still shows 105 Main. We've been operating illegal for some time. This company found it and they're getting it fixed. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but we have to be legal. And
Yeah.
that's changing the repeater site, changing the transmitter site, and also taking a name off of it because it does no good if you put my name on it and it comes due in 10 years. That's what happens a lot. So we're not putting a name on it. We'll put a position on it so it comes time to renewal, and we'll eliminate that problem. It's going to cost $1,600, but we have to be legal. We require everybody else to be that way. And honestly, this guy explained to me that happens all over all the time because we're not experts in the radio field and those kind of issues. So we're going to get that straightened out. It's in the process now. So other than that repeater, fixing some mics on the cars, fixing the filter at the mobile or the base station at the PD seems to have fixed our issues.
Good.
So
Anything else for the chief?
Yeah, I have something.
Richard.
These protests that are going on around the country and the police officers that shot those black individuals, as I understand it, they all had warrants on them. And that is serious. I worry about our police officers stopping somebody who's got a warrant and they're going to fight it. And I worry about that. And I know that, talking to Elena, I know how many warrants we have out. That's here, Carl, Benor-Nogo, Webb City, and Joplin. They all have warrants out, and there's a number of them. And all they got to do is stop one, and then he's going to fight it because he don't want to go to jail.
We train to do some things a little differently here than what's been done in some other cities. We may see a problem, we may not. We could talk all night about the issues in that thing, and this probably isn't the forum, but we're not seeing a major problem with disrespect or people dealing with us and those kind of issues. So that's really about all I think of. Those 3 issues right now. We're holding steady, doing pretty well. Everybody's behaving. Oh, by the way, that is something on Fairway and on Karen Drive. We had the speed trailer out there, and my operator of it went back and screwed up and dumped all the data. So we're going to have to put it back out, and we will. But I will tell you this on Fairway, the speed limit's 30. I was going out there today because I had had to go out and talk to the family out there, and I'm driving down Fairway comfortably, and I look down, I'm doing 36 miles an hour. As I said, people are going to drive what's safe speed. So
Well, I got a problem with the speed trailer because I went down the street and I put my golf cart as fast as it'd go and it didn't register.
yeah.
I
So
wanted to know how fast I was going and it wouldn't tell me how fast I was
you
going.
just
I got to read
wave your arms or get closer. I don't know what.
He needs to get
But we've got it. We'll fix that problem. We'll have some recording.
He needs to get a bigger driver.
Yeah. Yeah, you may if it could eliminate some of those clubs so it'll go faster.
That's a good idea. LaDonna.
Were you able to get anybody out there around Timber Lane and where it curves up there at the end of
They've been
Lane.
out there. I don't know if they found anything, but
I haven't heard anything more from them, but I just
So,
wondered because.
hopefully maybe somebody talked to them and got it straightened out because they were
Yeah.
supposed to be out there.
Well, I was hoping one of the officers went out there because I think a couple of the dads are getting ready to go straighten them out.
We'll
so.
get out there. I'll have to get and probably it's going to be the overnight shift because they're going to be out there. They work till 8 and the day shift starts at 8. So we'll have the night shift go out there. And
Yeah, I
spend
think a
little
lot
time.
of it's happening like after school and early evening and that kind of thing.
And we've had some issues out here in Deerfield and the long stretch now of one of the road Hartley, one of the roads that goes straight south from the far east of that thing all the way out to JJ. So we're working out there a little bit, and we're also working out there. We're going to contact Redwood because there's people living in those houses with grass this tall. They've never cut it since they've been there, and I don't know who's responsible for the upkeep of it now. So David's going to be contacting them to try to get some of that taken care of. There's 2 of those houses on Roney that grass is that tall and it's never been cut. So we're going to work on that kind of situation. So.
Good. Anything else for the chief?
I don't know if this is for the chief
Mike.
or a new business or what, but they're on 171
Uh-huh.
down towards the creek. There's the trail that goes down. People fishing
Outside the
down
city.
there. Their city property is right there, and so it's
There's a portion of that that is city property.
anyway. Long story short, there's been somebody
road
living in a
is-
tent there for a couple weeks, and it may be on city property. If not, it's on
Yeah,
the
we don't
railroad
know if
property.
it's on railroad property, our property, or the MoDOT
MoDOT
property.
property.
That tent's been there for a month.
It's been there for a
Yeah.
while, at least a couple weeks. And
There's a car down there. I'm sorry.
I
didn't
haven't
hear
seen a car down there,
I've
but
seen
I've
cars
seen the
coming and
tent.
going, and I've seen there's people down there, and
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
a large tent, and they have
Okay.
set up quite the compound.
We could get MoDOT to cut that entrance out of there.
You got, you could almost lose a car in the holes in that.
Yeah, I was
entrance,
gonna
but
say, there
that's
are
up to
people
them
that
how they
access.
want to do it. But I'll look at the map, but I think we own a strip across.
We
there.
do, and
But on
I
the
looked real
highway,
close
but I
and-
don't know how far off the highway we go.
I can't tell exactly where
Under
that
the
tent's at.
bridges, the highway's ours. I'll have to look at that and see where it goes because
Either way, if the railroad probably ought to be informed that there's somebody living there and let them
the
deal with it if
railroad
it's
owns
theirs.
a big wide section of that too. So
I think
I'll look
that
at
tent's just the other side of the old bridge abutment.
what's that?
It's just the other
Oh,
side
the
of the
old
bridge.
original bridge abutment that's there. Oh,
Yeah.
That would indicate to me that that's MoDOT property. Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if they keep that or if once they get rid of it, they put it back to the owner. So I don't know.
It's not a homeless person, is it?
He's got a
No, he's
tent.
got a tent.
It's a big old tent too. He's got
It is.
tarps. It's like a man versus wild fort down
It's
there.
been there for a month.
Thank you, chief.
Oh, that was scary
Next,
and
committee
sad.
reports. Budget and finance. LaDonna?
We had a meeting at 6:30 tonight. We already talked a little bit about tabling on the cameras, but we did make a recommendation. We want to recommend that we go ahead and pay off a waterworks loan early with UMB. It'll save us about 103,000 ballpark without the numbers in front of me. We do have the money in reserves that we can split between wastewater and water because the auditor has said that it would be legal to do that with them being tied so closely. It is our recommendation that we go ahead and pay that off before November 30th, I believe is the date.
I think it's November 30th.
But that is our recommendation that we do that. That's going to leave us with only 2 notes out there. So,
Well, I suppose we need a motion and,
Yeah.
or we,
Motion is probably on. I don't-
Motion would be appropriate because if they ever want to come back and say, hey, we need to see the minutes, I would
Okay.
like to have that as a formal. That would pay off the 2003 water bond.
water bond. I move that we pay off the 2003 water bond before the,
into November.
Next due date.
before the redemption date of December 1st or whatever it is.
Second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by Roger Spencer, that
December
we Pay off the 2003 water bond before December 1st of this year. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative with 1 absent. You can go pay it off on the day before.
And not a day sooner.
At midnight.
Anything else, LaDonna?
No, sir, that is it. Steve is going to get back with us, some information on the cameras, and we heard the chief talk about the radios and where we're sitting at now. So at this point, I think we can look at going forward with some long-term planning on what we'll need to be looking at in the future.
Good.
Other than that, that is it.
Code and nuisance. Rick.
None, sir.
Human resources, Roger.
Nothing.
Public facilities, Mark's gone. Anybody else from public facilities want to comment on anything? Very well. Senior citizens, Richard.
Yeah, last Tuesday was the taco drive and they had 80 people. And that's just to keep seniors interested and not losing because of what's happening, waiting for the federal government to say they can open up. And then by September the 18th, they can order a hot dog. They're going to have a hot dog drive-through on September 29th. And this is just to keep everybody interested in coming back. Other than that, we're still waiting for the federal government to tell us what to do.
Very
That's all I
good.
have there.
Thank you. Unfinished business. Bob?
Nothing.
Rick?
No, sir.
Richard?
I have nothing.
Roger?
I just want to know if they're going to get our striping done down here by the American Legion.
Oh, I talked to a guy today that was parked diagonally. And I told him, I said, you guys need to start parking parallel. I said, if you guys don't do it, we're going to have to pass an ordinance saying that it's going to have to be parallel parking only. And I said, I don't really want to have to do that because if you guys do it, you get a ticket, I said, I'm trying not to make it. And he said he talked to everybody and he thought they'd start parking parallel
Good.
or parking in the parking lot across the street. So if they don't, then we need to do something.
Can't they put a parking lot there just north of them? Because they got a driveway cut in the sidewalk.
Unless it's rainy.
That's true too.
But that's what I talked to him today, so we'll see what happens. I have no unfinished business. LaDonna,
None, sir.
Mike,
None, sir.
Gary,
Was anything determined on crop
Yes, business license,
and the new huge marquee?
and Greg was working on the sign.
Oh,
Mr. Talley.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Talley. Elena, Crystal, Steve,
Yes, sir.
Chief. He's gone. We'll go back to new business. Gary,
no, sir.
Mike,
I have nothing, sir.
LaDonna.
Nothing at this time.
I have nothing. Roger. Well, was I supposed to say something?
Y'all thought you were.
I'd change my mind.
Okay, nothing.
Oh, now I'm all curious.
Richard.
Yeah, I have a little question for Steve, if he'd ask Jimmy to take a look. You know where we had that on the West Barbaric Lane where we had that problem with all the water coming out and he had to cover it up because of the electrical system that was underground there. Now it's starting to erode a private drive and you might take a look at it before somebody complains.
Okay.
It's eroding. That's all I have.
Thank you. Rick,
No, sir.
Bob,
Nothing.
Mr. Talley,
Nothing.
Lena. I can get to call your name. Crystal, Steve.
No, sir.
What?
No, sir.
Wow. Chief, you have any new business? No. Any old business? No. Is there any other business before the council?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Donna Allen, that we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative with 1 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Oh, man.
Wow,
You
man.
people are horrible.
Sure, this thing's been buried.
We're not living in a tent.
At least we're not living in a tent yet.
Living in a van down by the river.
Said he died.
No. He's scared.
Okay, for the 15th time, could someone please print me a copy of the committee assignments?
Don't have one up there?
No, and put it in my stack here behind this thing. I hate borrowing Rogers every single
Yeah,
time.
no problem.
Thank you.
Come
I think
on,
someone
Steve.
steals. I think someone steals. That's what happened.